Hello everyone, this is Ivan with Create Your Future. I am a certified life coach, and as I mentioned in my previous video, I have a lot of success stories to catch up on, and today's success story goes hand in hand with the topic that I wanted to discuss, which is confidence. And the reason I wanted to talk about confidence is because I was very inspired by this client who initially came to me because he felt as though his life was on a pause and he wanted more of that motivation and just excitement back into his life to where he could, really enjoy it and experience new things. He didn't come to me asking for a specific thing. He just wanted to change his day-to-day life. He wanted to make a change so that he could reflect something new. And through his hard work and dedication, he was able to attract many wonderful things, which I will share with you. And I will also share how he did that, okay? Also want to share a little bit of my beliefs when it comes to confidence, in hopes that you could also build upon that and create your own beliefs. It's all about what you believe in, how this works for you. Whatever your beliefs are, whatever your assumptions are, whatever work you put into yourself, whatever thoughts you give attention to, that's what creates your reality. So, just putting in words of inspiration for you all so that you could achieve anything that you desire, okay? But before we jump into that, I want to remind you that I am available for one-on-one coaching. My links are down below. My time slots are very limited. However, I promise to give you dedication and, give you a time so that we could create something that is specifically catered for you to where you could also achieve whatever it is that you want, okay? So links are down below, and I hope to meet a lot of new faces along with all the amazing clients that I currently have. So let's jump into my beliefs when it comes to confidence. So I believe that confidence is something that you exude. So it comes from within. Confidence is an appreciation and a trust that you have over yourself, over your skills, over your passions, over your whatever you feel that you give out. It's that trust and appreciation for those things. Of course, it could be in a trust and appreciation for your looks, for your career and all these other things, but ultimately it's about you, the true authentic you. And it's really taking time to invest time in telling yourself, how proud of you are, how amazing you are at particular things, how you're one of a kind in this thing, how you look amazing, how you feel amazing, how you're mesmerizing, all these wonderful things. And that's why affirmations work, because you are telling you're telling yourself these wonderful words of affirmation, which then start to build a belief, which then start to build up the confidence. Now, a misconception that I sometimes see is that it's all about physical appearance or material possession or career finances. It has nothing to do that. Yes, sometimes, the way that you look might add to your confidence, but it's not truly what it's about. It's more about what you're exuding, what you believe, that how trustworthy and faithful you are for what you give out to the world, So that's how I interpret confidence, right? So going into the success story, a client came to me a couple of months ago. He was just in a place in his life where he was stuck. He felt stuck. He felt like he was in a rut. And he really needed that excitement back into his life, because he felt like a lot of things were just like not going anywhere as far as his career, his health. He had no relationship. He felt like the current friend group that he had wasn't really giving him, or he wasn't giving him what he wanted at that moment, or he wasn't getting that joy that he once had. So he was about discovering that joy again. Now, through the first conversation that we had, important questions that I asked, and I ask all clients, is, where is it that your thoughts are going? Where is it that you are putting focus into? So initially he said that he really didn't grasp at first and say like immediately where his attention, because sometimes you're not aware of where your attention is going. So he it took him some time, but then as the conversation started to flow, he started to say, you know, he was putting a lot of attention to waking up and just feeling kind of annoyed that the today was going to be similar to yesterday, and how there was nothing going on, and how like he just felt like, you know, he was stuck, and like he wasn't good enough at what he was doing as far as work, and that's why he wasn't getting like the promotions or finding a new job, and how he wasn't meeting new interesting people. So it was all about how he felt about himself. So through what he was saying, I then asked, like, you know, how do you feel about yourself? Like, tell me some things that you like about yourself. Tell me some things that you feel like you give out to the world. And it took him some time as well to kind of answer that. And, you know, from the moment that I met him, I knew that he was very charismatic and had a great personality, because he was very enthusiastic to meet and very funny. So immediately you could grasp the qualities that he has, but he couldn't see them, you know, because he was so focused in this present moment of just feeling stuck. So, you know, so when I asked him that, he did think about it, and he did mention, he's like, well, I feel like, yeah, I'm like a good person, and like I try really hard, and I try to be there for people. And so it was a lot about things that he does for others that he was saying were part of his skills, which they can be. However, there's more to you than what you could give. It's more of like, you know, I'm charismatic, I'm funny, I'm kind, I'm always happy, I'm joyful, I'm peaceful, all these things, right? So as our sessions started to progress, I started to ask him, okay, so tell me things that you like to do. So we started to express his passion, and it turns out he's very artistic. So there's a creative side to him. So that right there is working with that creativity, right? So I asked him, or have you been working on this creativity? And he said, no, I actually put it on hold. So creativity, he's into photography. So I was like, why don't you get back to it? Because then it ignites that passion, which then encourages more things to open up for you. So he did. He started little by little, you know, with his phone, photographing here, photographing there. And he started to become, at first he was very critical of his pictures that he was taking. And I remember one session he was telling like how he hated them and how he took like 1 million. And I completely understand. Sometimes like me filming these videos, I'm so critical of them that I film one after another, after another, after another. But sometimes you just have to trust that, you know what, it's good, you know, and it's, you know, trust yourself that as you start to practice and you start to go, it's going to get better and better and better. So a lot of what I caught from the conversations that we started to have in our earlier sessions were more of, you know, him lacking the sense of trust about what he has, his skills, his personality, all these wonderful qualities that he holds. So through the self-concept work, we started, he likes scripting. And one of the really interesting things is that I asked him, what are some things that you do to learn? And he says like, well, I always like to take notes. So scripting would be something that would really go with him. But again, you could choose, it could be just affirmations, it could be visualizations, it could be all these other techniques. But, you know, he was very much of a note taker. And I also noticed that through our sessions, he would take a lot of notes. So we started to work with scripting. So every single morning, he would start to write about himself, right? Qualities that he liked about himself in a present tense. You know, I'm so happy that today I am able to show how funny I am and how lovable I am and how smart I am and how good I am at this thing and that thing. So he just started to write down paragraphs, like small little paragraphs about things that he would do based on his qualities, based on himself. Also incorporating attention to himself, such as physical things, because I noticed that he didn't feel so confident about himself. When I asked him, how do you feel about yourself? And he would say, well, I wish I could make this type of change and this change. I wish I was this weight. I wish I dressed better. He started to make all these things that were kind of negative. So within the scripting that he would do, he would write, you know, I'm so happy that I have a wonderful smile and I look great and I feel great and I stand tall and I feel amazing about myself and I feel loving of myself and I like how I walk. I feel like I walk, you know, into a room and I get attention. And he started to write these things, and as you know, the days started to pass, he would incorporate more and more and more until, you know, that scripting started to get longer and longer, and to a point where he's like just started to read the script every single morning because he was satisfied with what's happening. So he decided to stay with a particular you know, what was it, like a journal entry that he entered with all these qualities. And yeah, he started to go about that and read it every single morning. And anytime that he started to feel off, he actually had it on his phone and he would just, like, you know, take a little break and start reading it and then bring himself back to that confidence. Okay. He started to notice the changes. So he really did stay committed to this practice, okay? Now, was he scripting every single morning? No, he was in the beginning. The first couple of weeks he was adding, and because it was him developing and kind of discovering these things. And through our sessions, I would tell him to write down certain things that I would see that I knew that were a quality of his, like, you know, charisma, the talent that he had, also the creativity. I take wonderful pictures. I always have inspiration and motivation. I see it all around me. And yes, as time started to pass by, he started to take wonderful pictures, which he would share. He started to, you know, he would go on these wonderful hikes and just take pictures of, you know, great nature, like little images. So he just started to do a lot of things. Then he started to photograph people and, you know, creating attracting more of that excitement that he wanted. So through this experience, he started to meet people. When he would go on his hikes, he would meet people on his hikes. When he was started to take a photography class, he made friends there, which brought in that excitement. And then, you know, at his workplace, since he was actually very excited for the day, the experience through work started to become better, to where his relationship with his colleagues was getting better, with his boss was getting better. And then, like, you know, within 2 months, he was actually offered a job elsewhere that was more in tune where he was at. He wasn't even looking for a job. Somebody randomly contacted him, and a similar situation happened to me once when I was putting a lot of focus and intention to my confidence, to my self-concept, and, you know, I just got a call out of nowhere. And this is how things happen, you know, when you're just feeling yourself and feeling good about yourself and putting in that dedication to you, like, things just start to come. So building new relationship with great friends, getting that job call, and, you know, and keeping healthy relationships. And he started to see all these things. And he met a girl that he was interested, which wasn't one of the first things that happened, but he met this girl that he was really interested in, and things are flowing great with this girl, like, and no issues, no negative thoughts around the relationship, just because he is feeling so good about himself. So a little recap of what he did: scripting. Every single morning he would script about the qualities that he knows that he possesses, the, you know, especially the ones that he felt a little separation with, although he had. And a good way of knowing this is if you ask yourself, what are my qualities? And for whatever reason, if you say, let's just say, well, I think I'm kind of funny. Well, right there, it's you know something, but you haven't fully accepted it. So write that down so that you could train yourself to accept a quality that you already know is existing within you, but you just wanted to bring it out naturally and just have it be a part of you because it already is. You just want to build confidence around that aspect of your life. So that's what he would do every single morning for the first couple of weeks. And I believe it took probably like 2 weeks of him kind of scripting and kind of seeing what was right. And through our sessions, we would edit that list and we would see, I would ask him, okay, well, how do you feel about this? And he would say, yes, I feel kind of good about this. I feel kind of great about that. He's like, okay, let's let's put more attention into this area of your life, okay? I am a good worker and I am appreciated in what I do. So let's build that confidence around your work environment. Let's build confidence around your creativity, which is a photography. So he started to do all these things. So again, just scripting every single morning about the skills that he wanted to build confidence on. A reminder anytime that he started to stray away from that confidence, a reminder by him reading that list. And again, you could use affirmations, you could use a visualization. This was his technique, which you could also use as well. And just dedicating to it and like sticking to it. He wasn't doing a million things. He was keeping it simple. And he was actually enjoying his life through the passions. And you know, having a confidence about the things you're passionate about is very, very important because it ignites so much creativity. And trust me, it's something that I've experienced. I know I mentioned in older videos how I work in the fashion industry. So obviously I work with a lot of people's creativity. But sometimes I feel like I build a disconnect within my own creativity. So I try to bring myself back to, you know, like design or, you know, seeing like styling or certain things like that, or even my passion for, you know, business when it comes to working with brands. So reminding myself that this is something that I'm passionate about and creating that excitement allows for other opportunities to open up for me. And that's how I personally got the job that I wanted, is by focusing into the things that I like, the passions that I have. Similar to what this client did, he was being appreciative about his work skills, his creativity, his passions, giving it time and dedication, and expanding more into that and allowing more things. And yeah, he's created wonderful relationships with wonderful people, a good new opportunity, which he's already been there for a couple of months. And based on a last interaction that we had, he really enjoying it. You know, meeting somebody new and just having it flow effortlessly and enjoying the process of building that romantic relationship and just feeling good about himself. You know, when you are walking day by day and feeling good about yourself and loving everything that you're doing, it's a magnificent thing. And it is something that I intend for all of you, because you're all so deserving. We are all so deserving of feeling good about ourselves, okay? So I hope that this video inspires you. Congratulations to this wonderful, amazing client. I hope that you create much more inspiration, motivation, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. I know it's a long time coming, but I finally did it. And here is this video dedicated to you. And yeah, much love to all of you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.